Hey guys, this is Wo Experience from World Lab XR, and today we're going to talk about sport experiences connected to augmented and virtual reality. Today our guest is Daniel. So Daniel has a YouTube channel and has a Twitter account where he speaks about virtual reality and sports connected to it. So today we're going to speak with Daniel about it.
And I'm not big, I've got just over 1,000 subscribers and such and a few Patreons, but still, like, to get all that support from all the VR community is awesome. And then the VR community, I mean, like the industry people, the developers, the content creators, everyone who's involved have all been so friendly. And the amount of like game codes I'm getting from all these indie developers and get to test out their games early. Since like starting the channel, I've also made a podcast as well called Let's Talk Oculus. We break down the news, we break down what we're playing. It's more like two buddies. We've got me and my co-host Samson, and we just talk about the world in Oculus. And we have had a bunch of guests on recently, actually, which have been really good, especially with developers and other podcast people. But it's interesting to just get the insight of what's happening in the developer front instead of just seeing it as a consumer and just playing. So it's interesting to get both sides. So yeah, that's essentially me. That's my like VR background.
It would be very interesting for us, and I think the listeners, to know what was your first emotions, your first experience with VR. Did you like it or not?
Everyone's first VR experience is really important that that's good. It's really important that that's right, because of all the issues with VR is that sometimes it can be very complicated to use, motion sickness and such. As soon as you put your headset on for the first time and you experience those things, you don't really want to pick up another one. Your mind's made up. It's like the first impression makes a massive difference. Going into the Oculus Quest, the nice thing about that is they also had that VR First Steps, I think it's called, which had something similar where it was like the introduction to VR. This is how you use hand tracking. This is you just dancing with a robot. Little things, but enough to get you immersed and learn the basics. Thing is with VR, because it's so new, it's hard for someone just to pick up and play. Well, there's a few factors. First of all, we've been used to the last 20 years of being used to playing games like Mario, or nowadays playing a lot of games on our iPhones or Android phones or such, on our tablets, right? Very more simplified experiences. Or if you're on a console game, you're just pressing the buttons, but you're having a great time. VR is a completely different experience to any other gaming experience that we've done before. So that's one big thing.
Thank you so much, and actually an amazing answer to the question. Design for virtual reality is super important because, again, because the learning curve is more steep and because learning is more complicated, the good design can really solve these kind of problems.
One of the cool things about VR is that you can be your game world hub, like before you even jump into the actual game, can be quite immersive. The game I just played yesterday actually was called Totally Baseball today. And the first thing is, once you're in there, you're in a locker room, and you're straight away immersed in the action. You're in a locker room, you're looking around, you've got the players' jerseys around, you can walk around, and you've got the big screen where you would actually interact. But the thing is, the fact that you put that headset on, and it's very simple to get into an actual game. You put it on, and in front of you, you've got your 4 courses. You choose your easy or hard, jump in, you're in. But if you're just trying to find an immersive experience that's just super accessible for people, it's important that that the controls are just second nature, just like how a real life game is. Go back to Totally Baseball, for example. To actually throw the baseball, it's exactly how you expect. You grab the base, you press the grip button on the controller to hold the baseball, you throw like a proper pitch, and then you let go of the grip button as you release. And that's exactly what you expect. But some games take it too complicated.
So if we look at the whole kind of sport VR industry, we can see that there are 2 major parts of this industry. The first is like the Beat Saber, things like that, like giving workouts for music, and as well as there are simulators. Like
the 2 examples I would probably put is either something like Beat Saber or something like Supernatural, which is a dedicated fitness app. Where with the dedicated fitness app, the good thing about that is that they normally have more of a structure in terms of what your fitness is. It's designed for that, which is great, which is awesome. But the thing is, the good thing about stuff like Beat Saber, Pistol Whip, Synth Riders, you are working out, but it's not. The game's not designed as a workout game. It just happens. That's your, just happens to be. That's just your like byproduct of it.
So, in your opinion, having fun inside the game is the main motivator for a person
Yeah,
to go back into the game and play it again. Do you
exactly.
think
Yeah. In the end of the day, gameplay is king.
imagine that you could have, for example, a coach in front of you, right inside your room, with using the new technology from Oculus, where you can actually have this kind of a mixed reality experience where you have people or objects inside your room. Would you think that a coach that is actually teaching you on how to do different things and you completing different exercises, they're not just exercises that are fun, but maybe exercises that can actually get you fit, get you pumped, get you shred, and etc. Do you think that something like this is something interesting?
Oh, 100%. 100%. And a game actually came out recently called Player 22 by Rezel. And they have drills in there to help you work out. There's a coach in there as well, which teaches you proper form, proper technique. There's different tools in there and such. But then they've also got a game aspect of it as well, where you want to compete for the highest score. The martial arts one is there's a reaction wall where you're trying to like hit all the buttons as quickly as possible. And then you can see at your previous times after you've done them, and you can see on the leaderboard how you rank against other people, as well as having the coaching aspect of having different levels as you progress, and different form tips and different form guides. So that is, I would say, if you're going in for just like solely fitness or learning techniques for sports and such, is exactly what you want, because you have all that in-depth coach analysis that you'd want, and something that you can't really get from just a standard game on the Xbox or PlayStation, right? This is what VR sets apart, that it's not just gaming, it's also fitness as well as other things and social aspects as well. So yeah, 100% that will interest me. Something that Supernatural is kind of lacking in a way, where Supernatural is great because you have your fitness trainers there, and they don't use mixed reality. It's all virtual, but they transport you into these beautiful, beautiful worlds, and the resolution is really good as well. And the trainer resolution is awesome. You're mimicking what the trainer's doing in front of you, the squats and such. And then when you're in the actual game, you've got the trainer in your ear, which is great, but there's no like progression. It's just, here's the workouts. This is my streak for the next week or so, but like what else can I work on next week? That's what I kind of want. I want a coach. I want like a personal trainer in VR who can go, okay, this is you work back and biceps today doing these fun exercises. Tomorrow we're gonna focus. We're gonna recommend a few different muscle groups, so you're not just doing the same thing, and you got a little bit of structure in the actual experience. So I think personally, if I was making my own fitness game, I would definitely have a feature where I would have a personal coach that's tailored towards what you're doing, and going, okay, yeah, you've been doing this work, you've been hitting these scores. Let's try something different. Let's try one of these classes now, or let's put a couple goals in a couple of weeks to see if you can get certain times. So I think you can obviously do that manually if you wanted to, but people won't do that. That's the fitness industry. You've got to make it automatic. Make me a plan. Like, make me a little workout plan. And here's my goal. I want to lose X amount of pounds, or I want to get more healthier or mentally better or whatever. And make me a little 6-week plan or a 4-week plan with the workouts we have in this app. And then I'll just follow that. I'll put on my headset and be like, okay, cool. Here's 2 workouts or 3 recommended workouts. I'll just pick one of those and we'll go. Rather than giving me such a big plethora of workouts to do. Sometimes you get the issue, the Netflix issue in a way, when you get so much choice and you just don't know what to put on, and then you kind of lose motivation that way as well.
Because you were saying a lot about the end goal and about reaching certain things with the workouts. And if, for example, to unlock a challenge, you have to complete 5 workouts during a week, and then you can unlock the challenge. In the challenge, you can compete with other players and win a specific item. This can just make the game much more arcadeable, so you would just like to go and play to kind of reach these goals, as like with crazy MMORPGs where people are playing 24 hours a day straight, forgetting about their kids and etc. I think this could add more interest to the VR community.
Yeah, without a doubt, it's gonna add interest. It's like in a lot of fitness stuff right now is, whether you're on a device or through Peloton or something, outside the virtual world, you get achievements, in there. You go, oh, you've logged in for 7 days in a row. Here's a nice little badge of an achievement. So yeah, it doesn't incentivize every player, but there is going to be a good crowd where they'll be like, yeah, I want that t-shirt to wear in my metaverse character or such. So yeah, definitely. And I feel like virtual reality is all about social aspects. It's all about socializing with your friends, whether because you're going to be in your room and they're going to be wherever they are in the world, and yet you're pretty much next to them. It feels like you're next to them. So multiplayer is absolutely massive.
Thank you so much. It was a real pleasure to talk with you. I see that you're really into sports in VR, and thank you so much for all the comments that you gave to us. This is very valuable information. So just Daniel, thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. Thanks for having me. It's nice to chat about VR.